Hello guys, welcome back to some more Dawn of War 3 where, as I said in the last video, today is a Space Marine versus Eldar, and this match I'm not going to be so much following me, I'm more going to be following Urok, which is my Eldar opponent, because in this match I have a feeling that he is quite early into learning Eldar, and so far he only has the one Dire Avenger squad out. I would definitely have queued up 3 just there. He's only just moving his Banshee over to make a building. And as you can see, I'm already capping this first point with a Servitor, and my second squad, or my first squad, is on the way to this point just here. He hasn't captured a single point yet. Yes, his team is heading out now, but if I were him, I would have had these Dire Avengers straight out onto this point, because even if I had if I had a Servitor or a Space Marine squad, the Dire Avengers definitely have a bigger output of DPS than the Space Marines do, so you would have won that fight whether you had to reinforce or not. So yeah, he's only captured 1 point, he is heading off to capture his second one, and see, he didn't... No, he is going for, in this match by the way, a lot of Banshee rushes, which I instantly picked up on and already planned for because I know Eldar and I know they go for Banshee rushes. But I don't think he learnt from it. Let's just go with that. So we're going to follow my side again. I've already captured 3 point, or I'm about to capture my 3rd point, and my 2 Servitors are heading out at the same time, as you can see there and there, to capture both of these 2 side points. So that will mean that I already have 5 points, and he only has 2. And yeah, that resource difference is going to be massive for him, because I already have 2 squads out, 2 Servitors, one of them was already there, but I also have my arsenal out, so that means I've had a hell of a lot more resources to spend already than what he's had. So he's on, and I know that he is going for those 2 points because he wants to get the power nodes. Did he pick the power nodes though? He did not. He picked a requisition one, which is obviously a mistake. If you're going for a Banshee rush, I would pick 1 requisition. Oh no, he did pick a power. My mistake. He did the right thing. 1 requisition and 1 power, because that means that you're going to get the extra power needed to chuck out your Banshees, because they do cost 10 power every time. Sorry, itchy ear. Okay, so on his side of the field, he has got a squad here, and I'm already attacking into his shield generator. This squad is then going to peek its head out of that cover and do a little bit of damage on me, and because he does have a second squad up here somewhere, he's also going to bring them out in a second. But he's already put his Banshees back into cover before I could get that drop pod out. And I had a bit of a misplay or a misclick here. For some reason I put these 2 on melee, but one of them wouldn't toggle back to ranged for some reason, so I don't know why. As you can see, that one's back on ranged, but this one, it wouldn't toggle back to range for some reason. So I ended up just getting a bit stuck there and focusing them, and I ended up losing one of these 2 squads. I think it's this one. I bring these guys further down in a second, and as you can see, the flames, as I said before, flames are the bane of the Eldar's existence. The flames still going there. And so I dropped the standard. I'm not really sure why I dropped that. I think because I didn't have that many I didn't have any shields left. So I sort of just wasted the standard there for some reason, but oh well. Anyway, I'm going to speed up for a second, or probably stay sped up a little bit. I still have that Servitor there as well that can see them. And I don't think he ever picks up on that Servitor being there. So the standard goes away, I've reinforced my squads, and I'm ready to push into that shield generator again. Now I do have 1 flame and 1 plasma, so they're going to do a decent chunk of damage. He does have Banshees there as well, which he managed to move out of the way of the flames, but it's still not enough there. And I do drop the Deathwatch team, and the Banshees go down. And then because he's put those other units back over there, he has now nothing on this shield generator, so I end up pretty much taking it out. I believe I take it out? Or didn't know? Yeah. And he does drop... Okay, and another misplay you'll see on his side in a second is he drops Mucker. I wouldn't have dropped Mucker right on top of me, I would have dropped the Scorpions. Right now you see Mucker. Mucker comes on out. And yeah, I definitely would have dropped the Scorpions there instead, because that would have done a lot more damage and it would have slowed me as well. And because I still had that Warp Bomb there, what is that called? I didn't know that. Vortex Grenade. Because I still had that Vortex Grenade there as well, you weren't able to do any damage to my units there whatsoever. And they're gone, and I'm free to go back into the shields again. And I'll end up going... Oh no, I've already broken the shield generator, that's right. So I'm free to go up here instead, and I do have 2 Assault Marine squads coming out, and well, one's already out, the other's on its way. And I've just got them in the back there, just in case he does try to attack with anything else, because I believe he has a couple... Yeah, he's got a couple of Banshee squads there. So he ends up coming out... I just slowed it again for you guys. He ends up coming out with those, and I anticipate that he's going to jump on top of me with the Banshees, but I miss it. He does end up going forward, but I end up missing it though. But I still end up taking out, I think, all 3 Banshee squads by the time he reaches me. Yeah. And I don't know, it was a misplay obviously, and AI in this game is a little bit painful. I do end up losing my kill team here, but yeah, he did lose a squad of Banshees into that flame. And yeah, I have a second squad of Assault Marines already ready to go, and I've just finished killing them off by the time the Assault Marines say hello. And Mucker goes down. So yeah, I lost the kill team there, but I still barely lost anything else, so I am still at the advantage at this point, which is really good. Another thing I want to mention, guys, too, is early game, I probably wouldn't drop the elite point generator like too early into the game. I still haven't dropped it now, but as you can see there, 128 and 41, that's a hell of a lot of requisition for early game. So I would save that until late game, but by the time you get to late game as well, you should have plenty of elite points anyway to not need to use it at all. So that's just a little bit of a tip there anyway. So he's got 2 Banshee squads out, no, 1 Banshee squad. Okay. Another misplay here is I wouldn't have gone with the Shadow Spectres, because even though, yes, I won and I am teching up to tier 2, I've already teched up to tier 2, you haven't seen a single vehicle on the field, and that's really all they're good for taking out, but not by themselves either. They are fairly well useless of taking out a vehicle by itself because of that DPS, 29. It's nowhere near enough. So anyway, yeah, I wouldn't have brought out those Shadow Spectres there. I would have probably brought out another squad of Dire Avengers, or maybe unlocked the Rangers, because they will do a lot of damage from a distance too. And they can be a right pain in the ass. Heading back over to my side, I am ready to take out his right bottom point. I've got all the units in the right spots. I'm just seeing what's there, and there was nothing there, so I'm ready to push in and obliterate. Also in this match, I do put down the machine rocket launcher instead of the flamer for the kill team. That is a bit of a misplay by me. I wasn't really thinking straight for that little instance. I would definitely go with the flames versus Eldar, because naturally the flames do a hell of a lot more damage to Banshees. And in this case, the guy is Banshee rushing every 3 seconds and losing all of his units. So that's where I first scouted out the Shadow Spectre there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not bringing any vehicles into this little bit now. I will wait until they're gone, or I keep them at a distance. A power generator is in jeopardy. So he ends up taking this power generator back for a second, but it's only just enough time that I'm still reinforcing, and I end up taking out everything he's got there as well. Calm down, Memo. Alright, so yeah, Flames and Vortex Grenade end up just taking those Banshees out before they can even get close. And then these guys jump in. I get these guys to surround Mucker, because I know it's going to be Mucker again, because that's what he always picks. And she's ready to go. Jesus Christ, I must be having game problems. Yeah, so Mucker's pretty much ready, well dead, and I took the Assault Marines out there with enough time that she was doing her last stand to reinforce them. He does bring out the Scorpions this time, which is probably one of the only good plays he makes at this point in the game. But he still doesn't end up taking out any units because I dropped the Assault Marines back on him. And I also have a Dreadnought pretty much ready to go in a few seconds. So yeah, they will take them out fairly easily, but he did. He did drop his stun thing, no, his, what's it called? Come, where are they? What is it called? It is Hunt. He dropped the Hunt thing. So yeah, they died, and I dropped the Dreadnought on top of him, and he just wasn't able to keep up with that. A little bit of a misplay here, as you can sort of see. They really weren't supposed to go out there, and so I did lose a squad doing that. But you know, I still have plenty more to go. Taking up, or not taking up, but reinforcing a bit more, because I still didn't get that point. I still needed to go back and reinforce a bit more before I can hit into it again. And he doesn't have any units there this time, so it's fairly well easy for me to take it out. And he is still trying to Banshee rush me again. I don't know why. I get my units out in time. I drop the... Do I drop the thing? Yeah, I did. And also at this point I am now also on tech level, or tier 3, and I have the orbital bombardment ready to go. But I do have a problem with that later on. I know, same sort of yeah, glitched keys or whatever earlier with the 2 melee attack marines. I end up having a similar one with the orbital bombardment, but we'll see that later. So anyway, yeah, I got a turret on there now, and this is my new reinforced point pretty much. Assault marine, oh sorry, assault terminators, is it? Yeah, assault terminators come out, and they're ready to go. If you just saw just then, my servitor, I just dropped a Servo Skull Observer over there, just because I was sort of using that to see what units he had over there. He didn't have any just there, they were further around here. But the Servo Skull, if you get it in the right position, it can connect onto a squad of Banshees or units or whatever it is, whatever you shoot it at, and it will stick to them for a little bit, causing vision on top of them for a decent chunk of time. He has sent those Shadow Spectres out again, and what I should have done here is, because I've seen that he's got those units out there, and I thought, oh well, they're not in base, so I can go and hit the base now. What I should have done is taken those units out first, and then hit into the base. It would have only taken like half a second more, because I had the Flamer ready to go again. So that's what I should have done, but instead, we'll see that I end up pushing into the base, and at the same time that orbital bombardment screws me over because it didn't want to work properly, and I lose almost everything. Let's speed this up a bit. So he does come in with those Banshees, and he gets me from behind, which is what I should have seen coming. I did sort of, but not properly. I keep those TAC Marines around that orbital bombardment as well. As you can see, it's not moving, and I'm sitting here like, why are you not moving? And that's why I wasn't focusing on any of these units here, and I lost basically all of it. I dropped the Death Storm as well. It's such a powerful item. 466 DPS, holy crap. So yeah, I end up getting it over in time to almost take that that building out, but it's just not enough. Oh no, I do take it out. And I've just sort of let those guys stay there because I know they're not going to make it out, so I'm just like, yeah, or whatever. And I do get the Terminators out in a second, because he doesn't focus them for a second, so I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to warp him out of there. And he slams them down because they're all bullying him, so I'm like, you know what, no, you can't have him. Warp out. And he sneaks off. Alright, speeding back up again, because I did lose everything there, and I had all early game units, I end up getting a hell of a lot of that requisition back, and so I'm basically ready to push everything back out again. So speeding it up, he does, he tries to take out that turret down there to take over it, and I'll quickly check over to his side because you can see he had the Shadow Spectres out there thinking they would take it out, and he loses 2 of those 3 on the way out. Alright, so I've chucked down, I've got all my buildings ready to go now at the same time, and I don't bring out many vehicles, but I do end up yeah, doing a hell of a chunk of damage. So I'm just sort of trying to reinforce just here, so that I have all the right units to go out. I do also chuck down the Whirlwind tank on top of his power core just here, because I figured, and you can see at the top here, it will start to do a decent, well not a decent, but a little bit of damage onto it. So he's probably just standing there like, whoa, what the hell just happened? So it's like, alright, we need to go back out. Let's see, he's ready to attack that again, and I'm just sitting here like, no. So I'm still reinforcing a bit here, and I've got 2 squads ready out to go. Chuck one in the cover and one out front, so that when he does attack into me, that second squad's there ready to beat the crap out of them. So I send that first squad back because it did take a decent bit of damage, and I didn't want to lose any more. But these guys are ready to go in, and so they end up hitting straight into the power core and the other units just here. I don't go too far over this way because he still has the other turret over there, and I'm not looking for a bad time. Dropping the Deathwatch team again, I don't end up reinforcing them because I'm too focused on actually winning this fight. Orbital bombardment straight over the power core, and the Predator straight in here to bully anything else. And by this point, he has put the shield or the power core on sleep or on protected mode or whatever, and I end up doing a little bit of damage on it, but not much. But yeah, he just does not have the units whatsoever. I'm going to quickly swap over to his side because, as you can see, he has 9 elite points there, and he's not doing anything about the Toldir that could easily have taken out majority of that army. Just wait for it. Power core's going down. He's about to drop Toldir any second now. It's going to be right here. Ready for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Because yeah, he's still, there it is. He hasn't realized that, oh, I have a Toldir ready to go. But it's too late and the power core's gone. So yeah, a lot of misplays by this guy, and obviously he was still learning, so he is quite noobish to the game, I'm assuming. And I'm hoping that with everything that I was trying to suggest to him there, with not continuously Banshee rushing and possibly using Dire Avengers and Reapers instead, and for the very first part of the match is actually heading out into the field and trying to capture the middle points instead of your own base points, because you can easily capture them like straight after with your builder units. It would not have been a problem to do that, and you could very easily have taken over majority of the match early because I wouldn't have had my flamers out in almost enough time. But yeah, that's all I can offer for you, my friend, and I really hope you get better in the future, and yeah, maybe I will fight you again one day and you may kick my butthole. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe because it definitely helps to continue growing this channel, and I shall see you next time.